What will Yamato's moveset look like? So fresh off the heels of the Kaido video, we're going to be looking at Kaido's son, Yamato, and possibly hybrid Yamato. Now Yamato first appeared in chapter 983. This video is going to be a little bit shorter than Kaido's because I don't think I can go too much into detail like I did with Kaido with Yamato. I also feel like Yamato's a little bit more straightforward. As per usual, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, stick around for more moveset speculation videos, as well as the reaction for Gear 5 when it comes out on Saturday, August 6th. As per usual, we're going to be breaking this video into two halves. The first half going to be normal Yamato, and the second half going to be hybrid Yamato. Now, according to the data mines, it said hybrid Yamato, so I don't know if they're going to be just a raw hybrid Yamato form or a Yamato that installs into hybrid Yamato. So I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is just on my own speculation is I'm thinking it's going to be a Yamato that form changes into hybrid Yamato and we get a couple different new moves. The only issue that you'll see in this video is that I feel like a lot of the moves that Yamato does kind of bleeds into each other when it comes to both forms. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing I'm thinking is that the type that Yamato is going to be is definitely going to be a speed type. Literally, Yamato has a move called like Divine Swiftness. The main aspect of Yamato's combat and movement was extremely speedy. Basically, Yamato is a small version of Kaido, right? So that allows for Yamato to be a lot more faster, has a smaller club. So I think the moveset's going to look maybe similar to Kaido, but just, again, way faster. Size-wise as well, Yamato's probably going to be as tall as, like, Oden, I think, because Yamato's huge. Like, Yamato grabbed Luffy, I think, with, like, one arm. So Yamato's going to be pretty tall. Not as big as Kaido, I don't think, but it's going to be pretty big. Moving into how the combos could maybe look like, there's a couple clips here I have of Yamato in combat from the anime. I'm going to be using mainly anime stuff for Yamato because it was just a little bit easier to find. It'll save me a lot more time than, sifting through about 100 chapters of One Piece ever since the introduction at 983. So like I said before about the typing and why Yamato is going to be like that, I do think the combat is going to be maybe similar to Kaido, like I said, but it may be a more speed type of form, more like flurry attacks, more just maybe fast AoE attacks, maybe fast movement, of course. There is this one instance in the anime where like Yamato can also unleash like lightning-ish attacks or like a lightning wave from their like Kanabo. There's this one instance where I think it's when Momonosuke's inside of Yamato's robe where Yamato does this like spinning attack, which reminds me a lot of the Gum Gum UFO and maybe even Zoro's like Hyokin Dama. So I could see them doing that for like, that type of move where it's kind of like a special move maybe, or even part of the combo where it's kind of like a chip slash, where it's kind of like a range movement attack. Now, there aren't a lot of moments where Yamato is like fighting all through the air, but there are a lot of moments where Yamato and Kaido are just clashing, like running across the rooftop of Onigashima, especially in this one clip of the anime when they clash with Thunder Bagwas. So I don't know how the air combos are going to look like, but it's probably just going to be kind of run-of-the-mill, jump up, and then you also have Haki Infusion as well, like the Conqueror's Haki Infusion. So you're probably going to see Black Lightning and stuff like that. Maybe there's even a mechanic where you can infuse the Kanabo with Conqueror's Haki, much like Oden. So I could see Yamato's overall moveset maybe having a mixture of Kaido and Oden, which, if you don't know, obviously, that's kind of on brand for Yamato's character if it's going to be a mix of Oden and Kaido. So I think that's going to be really interesting and probably really fun to play as Yamato. So I want to jump into potential specials. Like I mentioned before, each character has about 7 to 9 specials, I believe, or 7 to 10 specials, including form changes. So the first special I think that's obvious is going to be the introductory Raime Hake, or the Thunder Bagua. The first time that Yamato appears and hits ulti over the dome, just knocks her out. Now, I would usually put like that as part of maybe the moveset, but I think that's such a iconic frame of Yamato, or like an impactful frame, that it reminds me a lot of obviously the first time that Kaido did the Raime Hake. So I could see them using this version of the Thunder Bagua that Yamato does as a special, and then maybe when they're in hybrid form it turns into part of just a normal moveset. But the hybrid form is probably going to be a little bit more interesting, which we'll get into in a sec. I think another special that's going to be in there is potentially the Conqueror's Haki special. Look, at this point, every character may as well have the Conqueror's Haki special attack. The only one that probably wouldn't have it in these new 9 DLC characters is probably going to be Uta, Because apparently in the manga, even Kobe's that guy. So I don't know if they're going to incorporate Kobe stuff like that by the time that pack comes out. But supposedly Kobe's going to be there, so even he might have Conqueror's Haki infused stuff. But yes, I believe there's only one moment Yamato does the Conqueror's Haki, and I think that's when they're a kid. When they were running around, rampaging around Onigashima, and before Yamato got caught. So I think that's like one of the only instances, but I feel like that's enough of an excuse to give them the special attack. And another special that they'll have is obviously if Yamato has a form change, it's going to be into the hybrid form, and maybe another like full force type of install thing where they just increase the attack and all that. Another special that I could see is a Narikabura arrow, and I think that could be a really cool range special attack that might do less damage than the Thunder Bagua, but obviously is very pretty looking. It's a nice blue wave that Yamato launches after he basically infuses the Kanabo with Armament Haki, it looks like, so I think that would be a really cool attack. Okay, and the last special attack that I think would be like one of the most impactful and like the biggest animated one is going to be the Divine Swiftness White Serpent. Now the last special that I could see base Yamato having is the Divine Swiftness White Serpent attack. Now in the anime, that moment was crazy. Like, it was animated insanely. There was this giant snake enveloping Yamato like a Susanoo. It was nasty looking. It was crazy. And what this movement is obviously, like the name entails, it's a very fast moving Yamato that basically at the end of it launches what looks like a shockwave slash projectile that hits Kaido. So I do think visually this could be pretty cool, and they could maybe add to it if they're going to use the anime version that has this crazy snake form to maybe add more of like a, AoE and make it more of a huge attack rather than just be a small, like, just, oh, I aim for it as shockwave type of thing. But we'll see how they implement that. But yeah, I think that's going to be that, and the Thunder Bagua are the two, I think, heavy 4-star hitters when it comes to, special attacks in this game. Okay, let's jump into the hybrid form. I'm going to start off on the reverse side of things. I'm going to start off with special attacks. As per usual, if it is going to be a form change, it's going to be one button that cancels the transformation and 3 other ones that does special attacks. Now the first one I'm thinking is going to be the Himorogiri, which is pretty much it looks like an ice infused, obviously Haki infused attack that Yamato spins in the air and then like smashes it down on Kaido, which kind of reminds me of a ice version of the Ragnaraku. But I think that's obviously going to be one of them. Another big one that they're going to have is the Namuji Glacier Fang, which is, as opposed to the Blast Breath, again, Yamato's basically the antithesis of Kaido, is a ice breath attack that Yamato launches from her mouth. I think that's going to be clearly another special attack. Now the last special attack, I think it's going to be the Thunder Bagua again. Now it could be the version that Yamato does against Kaido while they're fighting in their hybrid forms. But another special attack that they can add is the Mahoroba, which I could see being part of the normal like combo move set for both maybe, hybrid and base form Yamato. And what it is, it's pretty much another ice infusion attack that Yamato does against the like fire like Denkan Zenbo, and it pretty much is just a ice club attack. It's pretty much like a swipe. So that's why I can't really see it being a crazy special attack, but like I said before, they always have the 2 very cinematic special attacks, and I feel like they always have the one that's a little, kind of like lackluster, like kind of like a more toned down one. So usually when you form change, you change your type usually, but I don't see that happening maybe for Yamato, because in Yamato's hybrid form, it just feels like more of like the quote-unquote same. Like, it just feels like Yamato's moving just as fast, if not faster, of course, with this like divine, wolf-like form, this mythical Zoan. But the combo game, I feel like it's going to be kind of similar to the base version, but the reason I said it was going to be a little bit more interesting is because Yamato in this form has a lot of just lightning and ice and like, I don't know. I think it's going to be visually pretty cool to see. It's going to feel like Aokiji, but like in wolf form. There's this moment before the Glacier Fang, I believe, that Yamato does like that. He conjures like these little ice shards on the side, and I'm like, this is like some, Aokiji type of stuff. So I think the combos in hybrid form could be really cool if, the team decides to be a little bit more creative with all the stuff rather than it just being, club, and, some kicks in here and there. I think it'd be pretty cool if they took the ice, gimmick and then made it pretty crazy, which I know Aokiji is a technique type, so maybe that could change Yamato's type to a technique, if anything, if there is a form change. But I do think I'm leaning more towards remaining speed type. So yeah, like I said, overall it's going to be a little bit shorter for this video because Yamato is a character that has a lot of moves, but I feel like both move sets kind of bleed into each other, because if you're going to have a hybrid Yamato, the only thing that they would have quote-unquote form change wise. So that's going to be it for this Yamato video. Like I said, there's not going to be much in terms of, going to crazy detail like I did with Kaido, maybe even Luffy. Because obviously we saw a lot of Yamato, and Yamato has done a lot of moves. But the thing is, if it's going to be a raw hybrid Yamato form, then everything I said could be just applied to that form, because I don't think that they'll give Yamato obviously a form change. It'll just be a full force, I believe is what it's called. So that's going to do it for the Yamato video. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I'm going purely off the speculation that Yamato might have a form change, because the data mine said that it's going to be a hybrid Yamato, not anything indicating a normal Yamato. But with data mines and leaks and all that stuff, obviously they're usually like pretty accurate. But I figured why not, have some fun speculating and think that maybe they'll do a, form change Yamato. So maybe they just mentioned the form change part of Yamato rather than the full thing. But regardless though, even if we get a normal just hybrid Yamato, I do think it's going to be really cool, because everything I said about each special attack, each combo, ice implementation, all of that stuff I still think can apply really well to even a Yamato that's just hybrid and that only has maybe like a full force. Because if it's a hybrid Yamato, then that allows, instead of having one button that cancels the transformation, now you can have 4 slots that have special attacks. Like, maybe you can add the full force if you want in there. Maybe they'll add the divine swiftness, the thunder bagua, the glacier fang, like ice mouth attack. See, at the end of the day, it's all speculation. Let me know what you all think about Yamato. Do you think Yamato is going to be a purely hybrid Yamato form? Do you think Yamato is going to be a form change character as well? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.